I'd like you to think back to the last time that you saw a good presentation, because the chances are you felt engaged and motivated and maybe even inspired to take action. However, poor presentations, they bore us, they frustrate us, and they make us want to switch off. But if you're a busy frontline manager, how can you prepare a team meeting in just 60 minutes? It doesn't give you much time to think, but of course there's always time to panic. So when this happens, we tend to go into self-preservation mode and think about our own agenda, and sometimes completely forget about the audience to whom we need to communicate to and persuade and inform, maybe. So tip number 1 is focus on our audience. How much do they know? What do they care? And what do you want them to do at the end? That's the beginning. Now, what about structure? Typical presentations go like this. We'll talk about the background information, maybe the project, the research, or something like that. And maybe a bit about the presenter too. Then they'll go on to talk about the details and information in the middle. And then finally, they'll get down to revealing the key message of the presentation. And this is a perfectly valid presentation structure, but it relies upon one thing. It relies upon the audience staying with us all the way through the presentation until we get to the end, when we reveal the key message. So, tip number 2, we're going to turn that round so that we get the most key and relevant message first. Then we can go on to talk about the facts and details, but link them back to that key message. And then finally, we talk about the information and the background story, for example, and again, we link that back to the key message of our presentation. Now, if you've only had 60 minutes to prepare, your time could be running out. So we need to think about how we're going to conclude. Now, the primacy and recency effect claims that we tend to remember what we hear at the beginning of a presentation and at the end. So we need to tell our audience about what they've gained from our presentation and conclude with a call to action such as, to close, I'd like you to do just this one thing. Or, before you leave today, I'd like you to take 2 minutes to think about XYZ. Preparing for a presentation in just 60 minutes isn't ideal, but it's sometimes necessary. So I'd like you to think about using these 3 simple tips, focus on your audience, get it the right way up, and conclude with a call to action so that you engage them and not bore them. Thanks for watching this video on essential skill number 2, presenting skills. And I hope you'll join me next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.